Welcome to Storytime at the Roo Bus, a weekly podcast where we get together and talk about Bonnaroo and stuff. I'm Brooklyn.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Charlotte.
Brooklyn, we have not had you on in a good while. How have you been doing?
I'm doing great right now. I'm drinking me a mimosa. Just had a good dinner.
Yeah, you fixed us all dinner. We had breakfast for dinner, which was a great excuse to have mimosas, and I'm kind of feeling it a little bit. I'm gonna be honest.
I made crepes. It was the first time I ever made crepes, so I hope they turned out pretty good.
I enjoyed it very much. Did
you know in that movie Talladega Nights where he's trying to make him say, "I love crepes," and
why would you not say that?
I don't understand. Maybe it's pride.
What was it? He was like, "Hey man, they're actually pretty good."
Yeah. Just say it. Just say, "I
yeah.
love crepes." Man, if he would have done that, the movie would have been over right then.
He had his hand in a vice, and he was like, "No, I don't want to say it."
I'll say it. I love crepes. Crepes are pretty damn good.
I loved your crepes.
I honestly like crepes better than pancakes.
I think I do too.
Isn't it kind of the same thing?
Nice. Yeah, but like you can do so much more with them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're better. They're more versatile.
I did not think we were going to be talking about
you
this.
can make them like salty, like add some like potatoes to them or something.
Can add more stuff to them.
Or you could do it. You could go like a more sweet style with some fruit and some chocolate, like I did tonight.
Shape them more.
Yeah, you can like fold them and you can use them as frisbees.
Could it be something that you could make at a campground?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be pretty easy.
Now,
All I need is like a little hot top.
Yeah, Dylan, our good friend that came to the first speakeasy route, which we'll talk more about that in a little bit, he made some really good breakfast stuff for us that one day.
I forgot what he made, but I remember it
was
being
good.
Great.
I think he made French toast.
Yeah, he made French toast.
Yeah, and this was like
he kind of cheated though. He used that cinnamon bread, but it was still delicious.
It was on like a little burner stove with like a little bitty propane tank that he brought to his campground, right? So like, yeah, you could totally make this stuff at your campground.
Look, come to the Roo Bus 2021. I'll be making crepes.
Oh, you can make it. Oh, look.
Maybe not. Maybe I will. I don't know.
Show up.
Yeah.
Where's the crepes?
I've been to Roo so many times where, like, I feel one of the things that I've done is I figured out that I do not want to cook at my campsite.
No, somebody will show up beating on the door at 6 a.m. Folks, where's the crepe?
Where's the crepe?
Wow, that's a callback. But no, dude, I don't want to cook at the campsite anymore. It's so much trouble.
I'm with you. Some people are into that though. I mean, that's some people's thing, but
oh, that's great. But I just like when I'm at the campsite, I'm trying to chill as much as I can.
I just want to float and enjoy.
That's been Charlotte's catchphrase
all summer.
All summer. I just want to float and enjoy.
Now that came from you, like being in your little inner tube on the creek and stuff.
Man,
right?
Throwback to our little adventure. We talked about that a while back.
Yeah. Charlotte just floats and enjoy. Hey,
man, summer's over, man.
It's
enjoying 2020.
It's been a crazy few weeks since we last got together on the podcast. We had another speakeasy Roo at our friend Lindsay's place. One of the guys with Roof Fitness. That was fun.
It was great.
Yeah. What was the highlights of that for you? It was just me and Brooklyn on that trip. Charlotte had to work.
My biggest highlight was hanging out with Dave in the Monkey Bar.
Oh my gosh.
Dave and Richard. I love them boys.
Can we take a minute just to talk about Dave in the Monkey Bar? I love him so much.
He's so compassionate. He has a really big heart.
Yeah. So
he's cool as fuck.
For anyone that doesn't know, our good friend Dave runs the Monkey Bar at Camp Red Roo every year. Has for like the past 6-7 years, something like that. I did not know the full story until we spent some good time with him last weekend. He sets up the whole thing by himself, basically. He is such a compassionate, generous guy. I cannot believe it.
Yeah.
Like, he has so much leftover liquor, it's insane. It really, that is a speakeasy.
Basically, the speakeasy Roo, the liquor that we used was left over from Bonnaroo 2019.
Yeah. He was just like, I gotta get rid of this.
It was great.
Yeah. But yeah, he sets up 4 easy ups and sets up like different lounges in different areas, and he has the bar in one corner and like these little pop-up couches in other corners, and he's like the best host. He just wants everybody to have a good time. When we were at this speakeasy Roo, for the dates that the supposed September Bonnaroo would have been, we had people hang out in the creek again. He comes out and shows up with a serving tray with these different mixed drinks. He's like, hey, anybody want something? He's just giving it away for free because he just loves everybody so much. I cannot believe.
Well, the Monkey Bar is like 100% open bar. Everything has to be free because won't he get in trouble if he's like charging?
Yeah, you can't really do that. So, like, the idea is it's kind of like, he calls it a Sunday church potluck, but for booze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, bring a bottle of booze.
Yeah.
You're good for the weekend.
Yeah.
You
bring
donate some booze. You get some booze.
And he makes different kinds of themed drinks for the weekend.
My favorite was the hand job in the creek.
So it wasn't sex on the beach.
It's called it's basically a sex on the beach, but we called it a hand job in the creek.
It was a one step down, yeah. Because we had a creek there. Yeah.
And all of the drinks were like Bonnaroo themed. Their names.
And he had the Manchester Mule. You apprenticed for him over the weekend. Do you remember the names of some of the other drinks?
Ooh, I was pretty intoxicated.
Yeah.
The thing about doing that is, it's an open bar. So when you're tending the bar, somebody wants some shots. You pour some shots, and they're like,
"Do it with us."
Do it with us.
Yeah.
And so by like 8:00, you're really, really drunk, and you find yourself just putting random shit together, making random ass cocktails. And
you made me something weird. I came in.
Was it good? Because I don't remember.
I don't either. Yeah, whatever.
I had some compliments, but
no, you did a great job.
First time bartending, guys.
So I want to thank some of the artists that showed up for Speakeasy Roo. Little spoiler of things to come. We had Paulo come down from Nashville. He is a great DJ in the area that came down to play for us. And what was the guy's name that played with him last time, but he did his own set? Jalil Fields. Amazing house DJ out of Nashville.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yes, I was... Man, that was such a good set.
Good.
He's so sweet, too.
DJ Snow, who has played the bus party at the farm before, came again this year, and he threw down fantastic. He had a little tribute to his new daughter at the beginning and end of his set. That was
cute.
very sweet, yeah. And
Them Dogs.
we had Them Damn Dogs, so we wanted to highlight another band from Huntsville, where the Roo Bus is.
It was really cute because their name is Them Damn Dogs, and Cornbread and I were up front dancing, and he did a shout out to Cornbread during one of his songs.
Yeah, I highly encourage everybody to look them up. They're on Spotify and everything. They're actually a little similar to Repeat in a way. They're kind of like a kind of surfer band, kind of rock.
Yeah, more
punk
surfy.
Yeah.
More, definitely not punk rock.
They kind of changed genres a little bit, but I would highly encourage you to check them out. They're a great band from Huntsville. We had Seeds play last time, so every time we do one of these, we're trying to highlight a different Huntsville band. I got somebody in mind for the next one. We'll talk more about that in the future. Who else was there? We had The Difference, a local band from Tullahoma, come down.
Rob played some tunes on his guitar.
Rob Aldridge played us a acoustic super jam. He did a lot of
Sean's son.
DJ Flock.
DJ Flock.
Yeah. How old is he? He's only like 18 or 19?
Oh, I think he's younger than that. I think
Really?
he's 16.
He
turned 16 because it was his
You're
birthday.
right. It was his birthday. That's
He's
right.
really young, but he's really, really good.
I think for his birthday, he got a new board, so he did a set or two for us. And
he
killed it.
He did one Friday and then one Saturday, or he did 2 Saturdays.
Yeah. And I want to thank you for your encouragement, because for the first time in 5 years, I came out of retirement and I did a DJ set. I've never talked about this to hardly anyone at Bonnaroo or on the podcast at all, but I used to do this. Me and our friend Aaron, you can see his picture on the cover of the podcast. We used to do this. We would play some parties and weddings. Weddings are nice gigs because you get paid and you get fed. You guys, both Brooklyn and Charlotte, encouraged me to do this, since we would basically have an open mic at our own little miniature Bonnaroo, and I did a half-hour set. Oh my gosh, it's so fun! I forgot what a thrill it is to like get up on stage and like kind of sort of perform. I hate to call myself a performance. I'm just getting up there and.
Oh no, you did wonderful. Tell them your DJ name.
Well, you gave me the name. Why don't you tell him?
So I named him. You know, this man loves cats. So I named him DJ Catlow.
Catlow. Why Catlow? Where did the L-O come from?
Love.
Catlow?
Catlow.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I don't know. It kind of, it feels right.
Well, I mean, y'all know me.
Stuck.
It's been my totem for years at Bonnaroo. So I brought the totem up there and had a shirt that kind of had the look of that totem up there. And I had a good time. I was going for something kind of like Girl Talk, the way that he mashes up different songs.
Yeah, you did really good.
Yeah, I'd like to do it again. Hook me up with some more gigs.
Halloween party.
Oh, Halloween party. Okay. That sounds pretty good to me.
Do some mix-ups with Monster Mash.
Yeah. Hey, so Charlotte, what have you been up to?
Working all the time.
Yeah, well, that's commendable. What have you been doing when you're not working, though?
Watching Shameless.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys have been obsessed with this show, so can you like reset and explain what it is and why you've been obsessed with it?
Alright, me and Brooklyn have finally got to season 10.
10 years worth of this show.
Yeah, we've been watching this for 2 years.
Oh my gosh. Okay, all right, so can you explain to me the setup of this show? Like, what's it about?
It's a family in Chicago.
So, Home Alone.
No,
No,
not at all.
Not at all.
Not
okay.
at all.
Quite like that.
Okay.
But
Not quite. Not
We
quite
went
like Home Alone.
we took a road trip to Chicago last year, and incidentally, we went to the Shameless house and the Home Alone house.
I prefer the Home Alone house.
I prefer the Shameless
Oh,
house.
Shameless house.
Like the Gallagher
Get
house.
out. Even though I'm obsessed with Macaulay Culkin,
Well, he doesn't live there.
but can he please come hang out with us in the bus?
Oh, yeah. Forget Bill Murray. What about Macaulay Culkin? He can come hang out with us and party.
Hey, I'm here for that one.
Oh,
100%.
I've got a movie recommendation for everyone. What was
Ooh,
that?
Home Alone 2?
Changeland.
that was good too. Changeland.
Changeland.
Changeland. It
Home
is,
Alone 2.
it is on Hulu. It's a movie that Seth Green, who some of you know, he did Robot Chicken and
Family
a lot
Guy.
of things over the past 15, 20 years or
Yeah, I don't
whatever.
know who Seth Green is.
Well, some people will know. That's what IMDb is for. Anyway, he made this movie about like him and his friends traveling to Thailand. We did, and that movie. Oh my gosh, it
It's so
bowled me
good.
over.
It's okay. So most of you have probably seen Hangover Part 2, and like obviously it's set in Thailand
Yeah.
and Bangkok and
It's fun, but not
Prague.
accurate.
100% not accurate. But Changeland gets it almost spot on.
Oh yeah,
It's so
So
good.
good.
I would recommend it because it's a good movie about healing.
It's a nice
Um,
little indie film.
Which healing is something that we all need in 2020. Actually, before I move on to the next thing, is there anything else you want to say about Shameless since you guys have been enjoying it so much?
I'm not a big fan of season 10.
Okay.
Yeah, me either.
I'm really not digging season 10.
The only story arc that I really like is Lip's story arc, and for those of you that watch Shameless, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just not into season 10. I feel like some of the character build up that they worked on for years and years and years, Carl Gallagher.
Carl Gallagher.
They just deleted it.
Looking
in one
at you,
episode.
sir.
One episode, poof. Like 5 years, poof.
I'm over
Like,
Frank's
what is
friend.
this, some Game of Thrones? Anyway,
Amen. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got to say about Shamies.
Okay.
We love the Shamies.
I'm glad that the two people that knew what you were talking about probably enjoyed that.
I'm
It's
sure
okay.
there's more people. Okay,
Yeah,
if
there's
you,
definitely more than two.
Okay.
if you're a fan of Shameless, please
Let
reach
us
out
know.
to us on Twitter.
Please follow me on Twitter at ginger.marbles.
Listen, I'm going to put myself out there and venture a guess that Chloe is going to be the one that's going to tweet at us and be like,
Oh,
"Oh yeah, I
please.
watched that show."
Come on,
No,
Chloe.
I'm gonna say Danny. From
Danny
Oh,
from
100%.
Myron? You think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We're all right. If either of you guys are listening, tweet at us and let us
No,
know.
you know who watches Shameless?
Who? Who's in?
Uh,
Carrie is in
Carrie
Chicago.
in Chicago.
Carrie, the Red Ruby Beer Cesar.
Please
No,
tell me you
Yeah.
watch
She's
Shameless.
far too classy to watch Shameless.
I feel like she would like. Okay. One of these three people are going to let us know.
One of those three people are gonna let us know about the Shameless.
Anybody who watches that show, let us know.
Please.
Because I would like to know. Hey, so Brooklyn, we're going to talk in a little bit about something that you've been doing on our Twitter. You've
Yes.
been sharing your favorite band of the week.
Oh, the main course.
Yeah,
the
that-
main course.
That will be our main course. So that's a little teaser
Aw.
for that. We're going to get to that.
I feel so special.
Well, you are. That's going to be the second half of the show. But there was something I wanted to talk about real quick before we get to that. Just wanted to tease a little bit. I wanted to thank everybody who reached out to me last week, at least the week that before we recorded this. I had a real tough week. We had multiple losses. I lost my grandpa. We lost our good friend Brittany, who got married on top of the bus, and we lost yet another Ricky. That was tough. It was kind of a surprise shock. And thank you so much to everyone who reached out. I just want to say real quick, my grandpa was kind of expected the past couple of years, but I realized that I've been going to music festivals because of him, because he took me to bluegrass festivals when I was a little kid, and kind of showed me what it was to make buddies over music. I don't think I would be doing any of this if it weren't for him. Brittany was not expected. That one hit hard, man, because she was only 30 years old and just had a baby back in January, February, whatever it was, and would not have gone to Bonnaroo if it were not for her. She's the one that introduced it to me. She was kind of like my Bonnaroo godmother. We jokingly referred to her as.
Yeah.
And I've got her picture framed in the bus, her and me in front of the bus, you know.
She was such a kind soul.
She was. And there was something a little bit I want to talk about. I know that everybody has had at least some kind of loss or grief in 2020. And this past week has helped me learn how to cope with it a little bit.
Yeah.
If you can indulge me, I'm going to tell you about 2 pieces of media that have helped me understand how to deal with grief, and I wanted to recommend it to anyone. The other night, for the first time in a year or two, we watched The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Wes Anderson movie with Bill Murray in the lead role. And I never realized until we watched it the other night that it was about grief. He lost his best friend, then he lost his newfound son. And I don't want to spoil the movie, but like at the very end, he realizes that he is whole because of those 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
The second piece of media, I'm going to get really nerdy for a second here. There was an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation called Tapestry. Look this up on Wikipedia or whatever if you haven't. Again, I won't spoil it, but the basic gist of it was Captain Picard got a chance to make right what he thought was one of the biggest mistakes of his life. And it turns out that mistake actually made him who he was, and he was a better person because of it. I got to thinking about both of these type of things, and I realized, like I said before, I would not be going to Bonnaroo if it weren't for my grandpa. I certainly would not have gone to Bonnaroo if it weren't for Brittany. So while losing both of them was a huge loss, I realized that the both of them contributed to me being who I am today, and me making so many lifelong friends and making memories that I can't ever forget. Some of those memories I can't remember, but still memories that I will never forget. And if it weren't for them, it wouldn't have happened. So it's tough to lose them, but at the same time, I'm so glad that I had the time that I had with them, right? The people that we lose, the things that we lose, still, in their own way, make us who we are. And I feel that so many of us have lost something in 2020, whether it be a person, an opportunity, an event, a trip, whatever it may be. We don't know yet what those losses are going to mean in the future, but they will mean something positive. There is something positive to be pulled from it, even if we don't realize today what it is. And again, thanks for indulging me. I didn't mean to get into a sermon about all that, but I just wanted to kind of share what I feel like I was able to learn this past week. Because I know so many people are hurting in different ways in 2020 or whatever. I had way too much to share about this. Did you have any thoughts or anything, Brooklyn?
I think it's very beautiful how you were able to realize that. And God knows you went through hell last week.
It wasn't fun.
The whole Ricky 2 thing.
Oh, yeah.
Basically destroyed me. I had to take him to work with me and set all of the memorial stuff up, and I was deeply connected to that cat.
Oh yeah.
And the past few days I've also learned that, and we've all been through a lot of losses. Like my friend, she lost her dog Lily.
Yeah.
She's not dead, which we hope, but she ran off, and it's been a couple months, and she still has hope in finding her. We just hope that she comes home soon.
Mm-hmm. And I know so many people have lost things, like something like that, or a job.
We are here to
to listen, to be there.
Yes. I mean, that's something that we all deal with, and that's something that we're all going to have to deal with in the future, regardless.
Yeah.
It happens. It's a part of life, and it's natural.
Yeah. And, a lot of it is unforeseen this year. I mean, Charlotte lost her job, and that was tough. It's something that she worked on for, 15 years, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah. I know there's so many people listening that have had some type of loss this year. And it's tough. This year sucks in so many ways. But one positive thing that I know for certain is that because we have all traveled to this place in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee every year and built a community, we all have each other to rely on. Some people we know casually, we get to know better. Like you and I got to know Dave a lot better this past weekend when he set up the monkey bar.
It's stuff like that really gives you hope.
Yeah.
It could be a smile from a random stranger in the middle of the grocery store, which you're not going to be able to tell if somebody's smiling right now because you're all having to wear masks.
Well,
but still,
smile with your eyes.
It's little things like that, and like the fact of knowing that we can all come together and live peacefully amongst each other, whether whether you have different political views, whether, you're different ethnicity from a different country.
Absolutely.
Nothing matters at Bonnaroo. Nothing matters. And that whole thing right there just really gives me hope for humanity, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, man, this year has just done a number on all of us.
There's a part of the code that says stay true, Rue, which really I think means take this with you. The feeling that you get on the farm, like, where all the differences just melt away and we all love learning one another, irregardless of whatever those differences may be. Take that with you. I mean, it's going to be, we haven't even talked about this news. We'll save this for another time. But, it's going to be till September of next year until we all get together. But I don't feel intimidated by that because I feel like the community has grown stronger than ever in the past year.
It really has.
Because, we've all faced obstacles and we've all found ways to connect online and have had these smaller things like our speakeasy room, and we've been supporting one another already. We have stayed true through a big obstacle like this.
Bonnaroo has taught us so much.
Yeah, for real. It's not even just Bonnaroo. It's just we've all taught each other. We have a lot of like-minded peers that have shared the good times and now the bad. And yeah, I think we covered it.
Very good, Daniel.
Yeah. Well, thank you for
moving.
indulging me. I sometimes I like to be a little serious. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody listening, and I love all my fellow Bonnaroovians. They've helped me party in the good times and have helped me get through the bad. And I think a lot of people share those same feelings. But let's get to some of your stuff.
Oh boy.
We're going to talk about this new thing that you've been doing, your Band of the Week.
Brook's Band of the Week. So, one day I was driving to work, and on Mondays I always get on my Spotify and I look up my, Spotify. If you have premium, they make you a little playlist, Discover Weekly, and I love that. I love learning about new music. That's one of my favorite things to do, especially on the morning commute to work, or just out jogging, or if you just want to sit there and listen to new music while you clean your room or something. That's me. I'm always about new music, and so sometimes the playlist will be really crappy, and it'll be either songs that I already know, or it'll just be stupid songs that I don't really like. I mean, it's based on opinion.
Just not your taste.
Yeah. So I was driving, and this song came on called Sweeper by Duncan Trussell. Or no, not Duncan Trussell. That's a podcaster. Anyways, Duncan Fellows.
Fellows.
Close enough. And I was like, wow, I really like this. I'm going to start listening to him. And then I realized, this happens at least every other week, or maybe even every week, that I find a band that I just get really hooked on, and I have to share it. I have to share it with everyone. So that's how I was like, wow, we have a lot of followers on Twitter. why don't I start doing this one thing? It's super simple to share a band from Spotify on Twitter. I could do it. So I got home that day, and you guys were actually recording a podcast, and I decided...
Yeah. That's on tape
I
somewhere.
have the best idea ever. Well, honestly, it didn't really pick up as much as I hoped, but I'm actually just happy to get it out there.
Yeah.
I don't care about the clout, honestly. I just want to share it. Like, I know some of y'all will skim by it and see it and be like, oh, cool, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
So, as long as I'm showing the music that I like, that's all I really care about.
Well, what I want to do is go from the beginning, and we're going to give a little shout out to each one of these bands or artists that you've picked so far.
Okay.
And just talk about it for a minute. So what's your first one there?
So the first one was obviously, like I said earlier, Duncan Fellows. They are an indie-ish band, which a lot of the music I have recently realized that I like is indie-ish.
Well, yeah.
Or punk or EDM. It's always going to be one of those, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Spotify knows.
But they're really cool because they started off sheltering in a ramshackle house on a street called Duncan Lane. It was inhabited by a small family of rats, 14 human residents, and an even larger population of roaches.
So it's
the
a punk
air,
band.
like basically the air conditioner wasn't working, and it was like a shit house. Well, like ever so often they would all get together and practice their instruments, and they eventually formed a band. And here it says their neighbors would complain. Angrily, he would angrily describe the sound as a Dave Matthews Band, but without a harmonica. Which, honestly, I don't get that vibe, but I thought it was really cool that they like started literally from the bottom and have made it thus far. And they're a pretty good band. They have a lot of moving lyrics and a lot of good tunes.
All right.
That's like one of my biggest things. It has to have moving lyrics and good tunes.
What's next up?
Tie-Dye Kai.
Oh, okay. Now you have a history with this. Yes.
Tie-Dye Kai. Okay, so this was one of the weeks where my playlist didn't really impress me at all, so I wanted to use one that I was obsessed with back in February when I went to see Space Jesus. Tie-Dye Kai was one of Space Jesus' openers, and I wasn't that big of a fan of most of his openers, and then Tie-Dye Kai came on, and when you're at an EDM show, they always have like this really cool trippy visual backdrop thing. Well, his was the Sharingan, but blue.
Wait, what is that?
The Sharingan is from Naruto.
Oh,
an anime.
Yeah, that's why you took to it.
So it's like anime fans will know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first thing, and then he starts playing this really cool, colorful sounding thing. It started off so majestic, and then hard bass, boom, boom, boom. It was so good. And he's really cool. I follow him on Twitter, and I actually tagged him in that post for this band of the week.
Did you like it?
And he liked it and commented on it with hearts, and I lost my shit.
Did you tell him that you drove a big blue bus to Bonnaroo when you met him? Or did you meet him? You met the guy from Rainbow Kitten Surprise.
Yeah, I met the guy from...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best day of my life. But
I heard about that. All right, what's next?
So, hang on, I'm scrolling. All right, the next one was Briston Maroney.
Your heart, it looks just like mine. There's no use in wasting your time anymore.
Now, he was actually on the lineup for Bonnaroo 2020.
He played Virtual Rue. I was
he
impressed.
did. He did play Virtual Rue.
Virtual Reality.
Most people who know the name Briston Maroney knows that he's the guy that sings the Freaking Out on the Interstate song.
Yeah, he was very good on the stream. I enjoyed that very much.
Yes. So, with this one, I wanted to go a little deeper because most people already knew Freaking Out on the Interstate, which that is my favorite song, but I listed that my favorite song was Under My Skin. That song is so good. It has really good guitar riffs.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's something that I've noticed with a lot of music you like. You tend to like this kind of like grungy, bluesy sound in a lot of these things. It's like kind of like electric folk almost.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff that you've played for me when I ride it with you in your car, it kind of has that kind of... I don't know what to call it, but kind of more elemental sound.
It's almost the same kind of sound as this next band I'm about to talk about.
Oh, well, okay. Let's go ahead and get into that. Tell me about it.
All right, so the next band we have Mill Mine. They are really cool. I can't remember when I found them. I know I found them before I started doing this. I really like the pedal work they use in this band. It's very dreamy.
Sounds like they're using some delays.
Yeah.
Echoes.
It's very, very interesting. Very, very good band. Up next, we have Mom Jeans.
Sometimes because I lie to, guess I'm just like you. I don't mind that you lie sometimes.
This is a band that I have been on for a couple of years. I went through, like, one week, I think it was, I went through a little punk phase. I reverted back to my high school days, back in this, skater fam.
Oh, girl, back in the day when I was like 20 years old, I was obsessed with the Ramones.
Okay, so Mom Jeans, they are amazing. They're my favorite punk band. My favorite song is Edward 40 Hands.
Have you ever played that game?
No. I didn't know it was a game.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a play on Edward Scissorhands. I don't know.
That's a thing.
My second favorite song is Scott Pilgrim versus My GPA. Their band, not band names, but their song names are pretty unique, and they have a really, really good sound.
It's like a punk version of what Fall Out Boy used to do.
Yeah,
when they did their
that's exactly it.
I like these guys because it mixes kind of like modern eclectic indie with a punk sound. Like the jangly guitars sound like a modern like lo-fi indie band, but then they have the energy of a punk band, which doesn't sound like it should go together, but it does.
It goes together so brilliantly, like milk goes with cereal.
Darby agrees.
All right, so the next band is actually my all-time favorite band that I have found through this whole Spotify thing.
Uh-oh.
The Backseat Lovers.
But upstairs they're still making out. I'm getting all choked up. I guess it's
Oh, yes! You love them so much you bought a hoodie.
Yes. Okay, so this band... I'm going to tell you guys a little story about this band. So one night I was extremely upset about an ex, and I was really drunk. And this song, Sinking Ship, comes on, which I listed as my favorite song. And basically it talks about, in my opinion, I feel like it could be interpreted differently, but in my opinion, it's basically about someone getting over a toxic relationship and getting over a toxic person and moving on with their life. And it really spoke to me, and I love it. And I had been listening to this band for quite a while before I actually heard this song and like actually processed the lyrics to this song. But Oh man,
No, I understand what you mean because,
it's so good.
I feel like in a lot of cases, songs are meant to be interpreted differently for people with like different stories, different backgrounds. Because like a quick story, I'll tell you the two songs that in the past year or so have meant the most to me. So like "Let It Happen," Tame Impala. I don't even have to go into the story for that. But the other one is "Holocene" by Bon Iver.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean the lyrics to that are very ambiguous, but it still means a lot to me in a way because like he's talking about how he realizes that he's basically a speck in the universe.
Yeah.
I'm kind of putting words into his mouth with my own interpretation of that song. When he played that, when we saw him at the pit, at the
way
stage,
he played that song.
God.
The way he played that song. It was breathtaking.
But it spoke to me, and it kind of like spoke to my experiences and what I want to do and stuff. And I don't get deep into that.
You had a whole ass epiphany.
I did. But for you to say that about the Backseat Lovers in that song, when it spoke to you and your experience, like I feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you felt like, well, you tell me the story. You felt like it was giving you advice, or it was speaking to your story.
All I could do was cry.
Yeah.
Out of appreciation.
Yeah.
I guess. But one more thing about this band, I would have totally have gone, but they were gonna have a concert with Still Woozy.
Oh,
they were going to open for Still Woozy, and the venue was an old pool house. And what's funny is they actually have a song called Pool House. So the thing about this venue is the band plays and sets up inside of the pool. But it's there's no water, obviously. They set up inside the pool, and the people watching are around the pool. So, and it's like, it's a small venue, and it would have been like, you got to snag the ticket as soon as it comes out. But hopefully in the future they'll try to do it again, because I'm trying to go. I'm trying to see Still Woozy, and I'm trying to see.
That sounds like a glorified house show, which I feel like are the best kinds of shows sometimes.
Also, the opening to the song Pool House, the guy says, this song's called something, and then the other guy says, Pool House. And I swear it sounds just like our best friend Aaron.
It does. Oh my gosh.
Alright, next band we got up is July Talk.
Now, don't waste that pretty voice.
Yeah, but this is
man! So we saw them at this tent a couple of years ago.
My very first Bonnaroo.
It was.
And that was the first time I ever met the Free Hugs guy.
Sean.
Yeah, they pulled him up on stage. No, this band is sick. They're kind of punky-ish, blues rock. His voice sounds very similar to Louis Armstrong. This man looks like a little potato. Like he looks like if a 14-year-old possessed the voice of Louis Armstrong, basically. When you see this man, when you look him up, you're not gonna believe that that's his voice, but it is.
I feel like you just fell in love with that guy.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of the female voice in that band. Honestly, okay, when she's singing with him, it works, because her voice is so soft and faint, and his voice is so hard and aggressive. I feel like them together works, but them separately, it would be a different story.
No, I think that's a fair thing to say. I've heard the same critique about other bands that have two different vocalists. So, like Arcade Fire. Both Wynn and Renee sing on different songs. Some people love one or the other. Another is Of Monsters of Men. Or Of Monsters and Men? Something like that. What is it exactly? I can't remember. But they do the same thing.
You got it right.
Some people like one voice, but not the other. So, no, that's a fair critique.
Alright, we got, last but definitely not least, Saint Motel. This band is very surfy, in my opinion. It's a good band to listen to while on a long road trip out west. Especially if you're heading towards California. I get heavy California vibes. And, like, neon lights, neon signs.
Sounds like you have a very specific experience.
Maybe
with this.
like 60s vibe. I don't know. They're really cool. All of my bands that I usually pick are very similar to each other. I honestly have a wide range of taste in music, but the ones that I've been picking are very similar, so I'm going to start trying to stick to
little something different.
Yeah, some different genres.
So I have an idea and a bit of homework for you. So
Okay.
through the magic of editing, everyone is going to have heard a sample of the different artists that you're talking about just now. But how about you put together a Spotify playlist of the songs that you like from these artists and the ones that you're going to add in the future.
Okay.
We can link to it on Twitter and everywhere else. And this is going to release on Monday or Tuesday next week. So by the time this is out, you will have already seen this link where you can listen to a playlist of all these bands and songs that Brooklyn is talking about.
Go me.
Yeah, go future you that will be past you by the time this comes out.
I hope you guys enjoy it. I've been kind of stressed out about this whole thing, but
Oh no! Listen, you are the resident young person around here, so I rely on you for like picks that I wouldn't find otherwise. Otherwise, I would just be listening to the same Tame Impala and Arcade Fire and my Morning Jacket songs all the time, right? I wouldn't be finding new stuff.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to my TED Talk. I really hope you guys like the bands and check them out at least. I'd like to honestly see your feedback, so you guys just either slide into my DMs on Twitter or tweet at me, anything. My Twitter is ginger.marbles. So look me up and hit me up.
Hit her up. I want to follow up and give a couple of recommendations real quick. I already talked about it a little bit. I want to promote some of our local bands that have helped me out recently. So first of all, there is Seeds.
Question marks.
With a question mark at the end. A funky jam band out of Huntsville.
They're really cool.
I love so much.
They're so different.
Yeah, I really feel like they're on to bigger things. And I want to give a big shout out to Them Damn Dogs, kind of a surf rock band out of Huntsville that have been very good friends to us. I feel like they're on to big things as well. Check them out. They're on Spotify and everywhere. And real quick, I also want to give a shout out to some friends in a Huntsville band called the Wolves of Chernobyl.
Yes.
If you like Tool, I feel like you will probably like these guys. Because
you definitely need to see them live, though, to get the real vibe.
They're very theatrical. They love doing some crazy
that Halloween
fun stuff.
show last year was sick.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I should have them on.
It was very interesting. It was like watching a musical happen.
Yeah. But shout out to those three bands. And I encourage everyone to do likewise and seek out and support your local bands because 2020 has not been kind to them. No. And they're looking for revenue, and probably they're just looking for people to listen to them. So check them out, listen to their music, send them a message on Twitter, and just tell them that you enjoy it. I promise you that will do them a world of good right now. Because as much as we all love listening to music, they love making it, and they want to hear from audiences that they aren't really able to see right now. So that would just mean the world to them. So check out those bands I mentioned, find out the local bands in your town, support them, and take a listen to Brooklyn's playlist that should be out by the time you hear this, hopefully. Yeah.
Also, Radiate Positivity. That's what I'm gonna name the playlist. Radiate Positivity.
All right.
I guess.
I'm down for it. Charlie, you been quiet? You doing well?
I'm doing great.
She's doing great. All right. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with us this week. We'll be back soon. I think we'll have some more interviews with some fun personalities from Bonnaroo and elsewhere in the future. Thanks again to everyone who reached out to me this past week. I can't tell you how much it means to me. I love you guys so much. So with that, hope you're doing well. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make a plan to vote. And get out there and radiate positivity.
Woo!
We'll see you soon.
Bye.